And only.
All right, it's 5:30. I'd like to call tonight's regular Board of Education meeting for Wednesday, April 15th to order. Could we have a roll call, please? Tammy?
Nubs Ashbeck.
Here.
Amber DeRizzo.
Here.
Jacqueline Grunline.
Here.
Mike Cornisher.
Here.
Ron Liberty.
Here.
Paul Crew.
Here.
John Smith.
Here.
Brett Waller.
Here.
Kevin Blake.
Here. You would please join me as you're able and face the flag for our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Merrill Area Public Schools Board of Education meeting. MAPS respects the role that our elected board members serve and the function of our board meetings. Board members and administrators are committed to working collaboratively to provide our students with the highest levels of achievement. This meeting is a formal event and professional conduct is the expectation for all in attendance. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Murray. At the top of our agenda this evening, we have public comments to the board. I did not receive any pink sheets, but I guess I would look to the crowd. Is anyone here looking to make a public comment this evening? All right, we do have some sheets. If we could come to this table, I'll have Tammy get you one, but whoever is first, please state your name, that you're from the district, and what topic you'd like to speak on. So Ron, did you want to go first, or?
Sure.
You're the closest to the table? Then make sure we're filling out.
Well, good evening. It's been a long time since I've been in this building. I'm Ronald Boehm of W1064 2nd Avenue, Gleason. I'm a 1966 high school graduate from here, and I'm also a former 6-year member on the MAPS Board of Education. I fully understand what you board members struggle with when trying to reach a personnel decision. Any decision made always affects more than one person or student. I'm here to support the ID/CD teacher position of Heather Klemick. I'm not sure how many other teaching positions are on the cutting block for this fiscal year. Although, as in the past, a number of qualified, experienced, and dedicated teachers released from MAPS, it resulted in a vacuum created by the administration intent or by board action that couldn't be filled by the replacements. If this action to separate teacher Mrs. Klemick from further MAPS employment be the result of a disciplinarian or not adhering to policy in place, then I hope that discussion and possible corrective steps were used to keep Heather Klemick with MAPS ID/CD. Thank you for your time. If there's any questions,
Any
I might have a-
questions for?
so can I fill this out and leave this on my way out? Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
So, I'm Heather Klemick, IDCD special education teacher at Kate Goodrich Elementary. I'm here to advocate for my position and continued employment within our district. I have brought a letter that I wrote for the board along with parent support letters to share with you tonight, and I humbly ask that you take the time to review them and reconsider the decision regarding my non-renewal.
Thank you.
saw 2 hands up. Were there any other hands that I missed for public comment? Seeing none, I will move on to recognition. We have quite the person to celebrate this evening. We have Mary Clotty with us. Mary, for 50 years, provided dedicated service and continues to provide that as a school bus driver. 50 years of commitment to anything is extraordinary achievement and speaks volumes about Mary's character and her care for our students here at MAPS. 5 decades she has been a steady and reassuring presence, ensuring that generations of Merrill students arrive safely at school and back home each day. In doing so, she's played a vital role in the daily life of our district. Mary's impact reaches far beyond transportation. Through her kindness, patience, and consistency, she has touched the lives of countless families, many of whom have seen multiple generations ride her bus. Mary, thank you for your dedication, continued dedication and service, and the care you have shown our students over the years. We are honored to recognize and celebrate this remarkable milestone with you. Mary Clotty. We're going to take a quick photo with Mary, but I've asked Tricia Dieter if Tricia would share a few words, because there's a rumor she might have rode her bus at one time.
I have the pleasure of talking a little bit about this local celebrity, right? So I think it's fitting that I'm going to be 50 this summer. So Mary drove bus 32, which I grew up behind the Gold Medal trailer it is now. And I just said to her, I'm running out of stories. I've had to talk about you so much in the last few weeks. We had a pretty wild group. We did learn what assigned seats meant, but Mary was the consistent face coming to pick you up every day in the morning. You knew you were getting to school on time, and she was just a great person to greet you every morning on the bus, and it was great. Great memories, Mary. Hopefully you have the same of me. Yes, pink, yes.
Can
Well, she had to pick up a whole clan of Vandergeese
Can we
that
ask those
one.
questions about you?
Later, Paul. You'll get your picture
Mary,
taken again.
take a picture. Yeah. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate everything. There you go. And take a picture for us. It's funny how that story changes a little bit. I think maybe Tricia was one of the reasons for us. You can tell it however you want. You can tell it how she wants, all right? All right. Thank you. At this point on the agenda, before I turn it over to our student board reps, I'd like to recognize our current clerk, Ron Liberty, and thank him for his 6 years of service on our board. Been on, like I said, 6 years, a couple years as a board member, 1 as a treasurer, and 3 as a clerk. So thank you for your service to our school district, Ron. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Parker Wagner and Eric Grunwald. What's going on at the high school?
Well, it has been a while since I've seen you guys, since I was not here last month. Sorry about that. But I am back, do not fret. The Merrill Theater Jays will be putting on their spring musical, Honk, on Friday, April 24th at 7 p.m. and Saturday, the 25th at 2 and 7. I hear it is going to be an exciting retelling of The Ugly Duckling, so make a night of it and come support our performers. The annual Raise Your Voice Walk is also coming up quick on April 26th. Stop by Jay Stadium between 1 and 3 p.m. where there will be fun activities for all ages, including a bounce house and raffle baskets. We are walking to raise awareness for teen mental health in schools, and I hope to see you guys there. Prom is next month on the 9th, and the theme this year is Mamma Mia, which I am excited for. There's going to be a grand march and free bowling afterwards for the attendees still in their prom attire. It's definitely going to be a fun night. Last month, the freshmen and sophomores took the pre-ACT and the juniors took the ACT, all on the same day, which was crazy. I didn't have to come to school at all. While the ACT is important to juniors for college and scholarship applications, the pre-ACT is also important. It gives students an idea of where they're at compared to the benchmarks and other students their age. It also gives the school an idea of what to work on and prepare for in the future. Meanwhile, the seniors are almost done.
On April 29th, we have our College and Career Readiness Fair. Ms. Laborde has been working very hard on reorganizing as it got canceled the last time due to inclement weather. Once again, a great deal of locals have come out to share their skills and passion with us students. AP testing is coming up and starting around May 6th. Students taking AP courses have a shot at earning college credit in that class if they score 3 or higher on the 6-point grading scale. If they achieve this, they save a significant amount of time and money. DECA is hosting another blood drive on May 1st. We are looking forward to very many people participating. And our sports are looking very good. Baseball has started the season 3-2. Softball is also at a hot start, going 5-3. Track has started full swing. They have competed in 3 meets already. And finally, girls soccer just had a huge conference win yesterday, beating Mosinee, who we very much do not like. So I'm very, very happy that they won this thing.
Any board members have questions for Parker or Eric?
Do you want to amend that to very much do not like to win?
We like to beat them.
Yeah, there you go.
We like to see them very wonderful people.
Yeah, I'm sure they're wonderful.
Yeah.
Some of them.
All right, besides correcting a little grammar, we will move on to administrative reports. I'll turn it over to Mr. Murray.
Thank you. Item A under administrative reports is the Pine River School for Young Learners monthly report. Mr. Martinovich is here if anybody has any comments or questions. His report focuses on enrollment numbers that they screen those and monitor those monthly or ongoing. Some USDA meal information, et cetera, et cetera. So Ryan's here if anybody has any questions. Item B is the food service participation report, which Laura Krause prepares for us monthly. Today, or this month's report focuses on the student participation as we wrap up the school year, coming down the stretch of the school year. Item C is the Director of Pupil Services Special Ed report. Amber Haluska is here this evening. If anybody has any questions or comments on her report, her report talks about some of the hiring that they've been doing, including even today. They were doing some interviews and allocations as well. So Amber's here if you have any questions for her. Item D is the Director of Curriculum Instruction report. Focuses on reading core, which is on our agenda that was discussed at committee level last week, and so that is on the agenda today, but Amanda is here. She's here to answer any questions either now or when that agenda item comes up later in the meeting. Item E is the Director of Finance report, including a budget update and some department information from Mark Powell. He's here with us this evening if anybody has any questions regarding his report. Item F is the Director of Buildings and Grounds Transportation update. Nick is here this evening. His report includes district-wide projects and transportation updates, et cetera. So Nick's here, he'd be happy to answer any questions you may have. Item G is the Superintendent's report. My report focuses on 2 things that I was asked really to have for future meetings. I just included them in this format, and we can certainly have them here this evening. The first is the Community Ed Program update. I was asked to provide that. We are in the middle of our 3rd semester currently, but if you click that link, you can. There's some information from Angie Drew. She will present. She'll do a presentation this summer once the semester wraps up. But you can see that there's been some pretty good growth in our enrollments. We have about 287 people taking classes, adult ed, community service classes, or community ed classes in the district. And we continue to see some pretty impressive growth there, both in terms of followers, Facebook followers, registration, people taking classes. There's been a slight demographic shift in those classes as well. Angie has also taken on, because we have the software for it, she has taken on all the swim lesson registrations, which makes scheduling very easy and also collecting fees very, very easy. There's no cash involved in that anymore. and she also included some testimonials there. So I think we're pleased with our growth, and some, Ron and I think Amber DeRizzo and Kevin were involved at it from the start, and so we seem to be trending very favorably. We have people take classes as far away from Marshfield, Rhinelander, Tomahawk, so people are coming to take our classes, which has been good. But if there's any questions, I can give them a good shot, or I can forward them on to Angie. But again, she'll be presenting a wrap-up at the end of this semester, sometime this summer. Any questions or comments on that? And then the question pool? I'm sorry. And then I was also asked to give an update of some information regarding our SRO's activities. We have a second SRO this year at the middle school. It used to be a shared position, but now we have 2 dedicated SROs this year for the first time. And you can see there, I just asked the principals and their SROs to give me a breakdown of the type of citations that are being offered. And you can see that information there. Disorderly conducts, particularly at the middle school, almost always involve a physical altercation or a fight. And you can kind of see the different issues there. The throwing missiles, that is a city ordinance, that's snowballs. That was a situation at the middle school this winter that they tried to remedy through school-wide consequences, and when that wasn't enough, we had to kind of take it to this level. The one that's perhaps the most interesting to me is the last one. We had a disorderly conduct with non-students that involved Merrill's version of road rage, that people were waiting on Highway 14 to get into our parent drop-off, and it ended up in a little shoving match with some of our parents, unfortunately. So there's the report. I will have the SROs and/or Officer Bennett come this summer and get the final information for the entire school year. And this, by the way, now we report these things to the state now as well. So, any questions on that? I can try to give that a good shot.
One of the things we anticipated was comparative data. I mean, we're showing year-to-date was kind of the question, and how with having 2 SROs, how that's changing and what are our hot topics. But I'm sure the board would like to see when that report comes out, the last few years of similar data again per building, so they can sink their teeth on that as well.
Does truancy court work as it did in the past, pre-COVID?
Truancy court is very, very different now. So these are municipal citations at the city. The truancy, and Tricia, you may be speaking better than I can, but the truancy process at the county level now involves much more of a social services, social work interventions than a traditional court setting.
Okay, so when it says truancy, that's citations, that's just a fine, monetary?
Yeah, municipal citation.
Gotcha.
All these are city.
Some of these require the kids to go to actual municipal court as well.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Any other follow-up questions for the superintendent's report? Seeing none, we'll move on. Next on our agenda is committee reports. We'll start with the Finance Human Resources Committee. Attached were the draft minutes from the April 8th committee meeting. John Smith is chair, and other members of the Finance HR Committee are available for board member questions. Any questions this evening for our Finance HR Committee? Any questions for our Finance HR Committee? Otherwise, we'll move on to CTP, which is Curriculum, Technology, Pupil Services. Attached were the draft minutes from the April 8th committee meeting. Ron Liberty is chair, and other members of the CTP committee are available for board member questions. Do you have any questions for our CTP committee this evening? Any questions for CTP? Hearing none, we will move on. We do not have anything under the category of unfinished business, so we'll turn to the new Board of Education business. We will start with the topic of elementary student handbook for the 2026-2027 school year. We have a topic summary sheet that was co-authored by Amanda Patterson, Megan Kautzer, and Heather Carr that was presented to the CTP committee, and there's a recommended motion from that committee. Any board member willing to make a motion on this agenda item? John?
Recommend approval of the 2026-2027 elementary student handbook.
Motion by John. We have a second by Nubbs. Any discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or corresponding motion? Any discussion or questions on the agenda item or corresponding motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is the Prairie River Middle School Handbook and Course Descriptions. Attached was a topic summary sheet from Cassie Schultz, also presented at the CTP committee, who provided a recommended motion. Any board member willing to make a motion in regards to this agenda item? Paul?
Let's see. I move approval of the 26-27 handbook course descriptions for Prairie River Middle School as presented.
A motion by Paul and a second by Mike. Do we have any discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or its corresponding motion? Any discussion or questions on this agenda item or its corresponding motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Do we have any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda this evening is the high school student handbook planner for 2026-2027. The topic summary sheet was provided by Tricia Dieter and presented at our CTP committee, which has a recommended motion. Any board members willing to make a motion on this agenda item? Nubbs?
I move to approve the 2026-2027 high school student handbook / agenda.
We have a motion by Nubbs. We have a second by Mike. Do we have any discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or its corresponding motion? John, go ahead.
There was a couple bigger issues that, or changes that were made. If there's adjustments made mid-year, does this then by procedure come back to the board?
Yeah,
Or-
it has to. Yeah.
Okay.
By approving that handbook, you're essentially saying like the policies and the rules at the high school are pseudo policy. So it has to come back.
Gotcha.
Any additional discussion or questions in regard to this agenda item or corresponding motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Do we have any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is the Securely Internet Safety Filter Renewal. Topic summary was provided by Andrew Kaler. That was presented at the CTP committee and perhaps at the HR Finance as well. There is a recommended motion by the CTP committee. Any board member willing to make a motion in regards to this agenda item? John?
Move to approve the securely internet safety renewal for a total of $89,870 to be paid annually from the technology budget.
We have a motion by John. Do we have a second? Second by Mike. Any discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or the corresponding motion? I believe the clarifying point, if I'm reading the topic summary sheet right, is we're paying annually for a 5-year, so 5 or 1/5, 20% of that along the way. So we're not paying $89,870 annually, we're paying that over a 5-year period for those services. Any additional discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or corresponding motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries on a voice vote. Next item on our agenda is the approval of the 2026-2027 food service contract with Taher Inc. for their food services. Topic summary sheet was provided by Mark Paul at our Finance HR Committee. And then the Finance HR Committee has a recommended motion. Any board members willing to make a motion on this agenda item? Mike?
Motion to approve the 2026-2027 contract with Tower Inc. Food Service.
Motion by Mike. Do we have a second? Second by Nubbs. Any discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or corresponding motion? Some highlights there. This is the last year of the contract, so some work will be done as soon as we start into the next school year. So we'll look forward to some more information going forward, but this is trying to keep things on track in regards to the current contract that is out there. Any additional discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or corresponding motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, say nay. Do we have any abstentions? Motion carries. The next item on our agenda is a renewal of health insurance for fiscal year 2027. Attached with a topic summary sheet from Heather Soberg and Mark Powell. Went through the Finance Human Resources Committee, who has a recommended motion. Do we have a motion for discussion purposes on this agenda item? Paul?
I move to approve the renewal, move to approve the self-insured captive with innovative captive solutions as presented.
Motion by Paul, do we have a second? Second by Mike. This time, any discussion or highlights? We went through a lot of this in depth at the committee level, but not everybody gets in the public, gets to hear and see that. So any highlights anyone wants to make, starting with Shannon or Heather or Mark?
I think Freed, the reps are here this evening, did a great job of presenting at HR Finance, answering questions. Heather Soberg, Mark, Casey have done a great job of putting us in a good position cost-wise. The goal throughout this process was to keep our costs manageable, as well as employee costs manageable, and really to provide a product that is essentially the same as what they have. As far as the users are concerned, we believe we've accomplished all those things. And so it's a new path for us, but it's certainly becoming a more and more common path with school districts and municipalities. And so I just appreciate the hard work that everybody's put in. Now, if approved today, now we've got, when I say we loosely, mostly Heather, has some pretty serious education to do, so with our staff. And so that will begin very, very quickly.
All right. Any other discussion points or questions in regards to this agenda item or the corresponding motion? Any discussion or questions on the agenda item or corresponding motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is renewal of the dental and vision insurance for fiscal year 27. Topic summary sheet was provided by Heather Soberg and Mark Powell. A recommended motion came through our Finance Human Resources Committee. Any board member willing to make a motion in regards to this agenda item? Mike?
Motion to approve the renewal of the dental and vision insurance for fiscal year 2027 with rates remaining the same as presented.
Motion by Mike. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Paul. Any discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or corresponding motion? Any discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or corresponding motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is the renewal of employee ancillary benefits. Topic summary sheet provided by Heather Soberg and Mark Paul. Recommended motion from our Finance Human Resources Committee. Any board member willing to make a motion on this agenda item? Mike?
Motion to approve the bid for employee ancillary benefit coverages as presented.
We have a motion by Mike. Do we have a second? Amber, we have a second. Any discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or corresponding motion? Any discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or corresponding motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is the preliminary notice of non-renewals. Attached is a topic summary sheet from Heather Soberg. It's a recommended motion from our Finance Human Resources Committee. Do we have a motion in regards to this agenda item? John?
Move to approve of the authorization of the administration to issue preliminary notices of non-renewal to the teaching positions identified in the 2026-2027 staffing reduction plan, as well as will be discussed in closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute section 118.22 for the purposes of budgetary and operational necessity.
A motion by John. We have a second. We have a second by Amber. Any discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or corresponding motion?
I'll just remind the board that at this point, this motion is about the positions, not about any people. And you can see the positions that are under our one FTE Encore teacher. Encore is middle school electives, and one special education teacher, which is a broad special education.
Thank you, Shannon. Any additional discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or corresponding motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is the Safe and Civil Schools. Attached is a topic summary sheet from Amber Aluska and Amanda Patterson. Was presented both at the CTP and Finance Human Resources Committee with the recommended motion. Any board members willing to make a motion on this agenda item? Mike?
Move for the approval of the purchase order for Safe and Civil Schools training for $20,000 in travel expenses to be determined for the training facilitators for the 26-27 school year using Title IV funding.
We have a motion by Mike. Do we have a second? Second by Paul. Any discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or corresponding motion? Any discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or corresponding motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda is the pool employee handbook. Attached was a topic summary sheet from Heather Soberg that was reviewed by the Finance Human Resources Committee, which provided a recommended motion. Any board members willing to make a motion on this agenda item? John?
Move to approve the 2026-2027 pool employee handbook as presented.
We have a motion by John. Do we have a second? Second by Amber. Any discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or corresponding motion? Any discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or corresponding motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item on our agenda this evening is support staff and teacher handbooks. Attached was a topic summary sheet from Heather Soberg. Had been reviewed at the Finance Human Resources Committee. The recommended motion. Any board members willing to make a motion in regards to this agenda item? John, go ahead.
Move to approve the 2026-2027 support staff and teacher handbooks.
A motion by John, we have a second by Mike. Do we have any discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or corresponding motion? Any discussion or questions in regards to this agenda item or corresponding motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed, say nay. Do we have any abstentions? Motion carries. Before I ask for consent agenda motion, I'll ask if anyone wants, any board members want anything pulled to be handled independently from consent agenda this evening? Any board members want anything pulled? Otherwise, I would ask if someone is willing to make the consent agenda motion. Ron?
Motion to approve consent agenda items, A through D, which include minutes of the March 18, 2026, March 23rd, 2026 meetings, claims, vouchers, and receipts totaling $3,242,060.16, donations totaling $3,792.50, and the attached personnel report, contingent upon release of contract for hiring and upon the satisfaction of appropriate liquidated damages for resignations if relevant.
We have a motion by Ron. Do we have a second? Second by Mike. All those in favor of that motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Anyone opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Amber?
Just from the March 23rd minutes, please.
All right, thank you, Amber. Paul?
From the March 23rd meeting.
Thank you, Paul. Brett?
March 18th meeting.
All right, thank you. Motion carries with the noted abstentions. This time I will ask board members if they had items for future meetings. I noticed we have a few things that we're going to expand on, but they were covered in the superintendent's report. So if there's any specific data that we want more information on when that report comes out in the summer, or let us know and we'll get to that. But any new items that are not on the current list? Any board members have anything they want to put on that list for future meetings? If not, right now, when some comes to mind, get a hold of Mr. Murray or myself, and we will continue to route them through the committees and or to the regular board meetings. Just a reminder that tomorrow morning, as every Thursday, we do have some time carved out for MAPS on Blue Jay 730 radio. Tomorrow morning, Shannon and I will be on there approximately 8:15 a.m. talking about tonight's board meeting. Future meetings coming up in MAPS would be a special board meeting. The organizational meeting is Monday, April 27th, 5:30 p.m. here in the boardroom. We have a busy night on May 6th, starting at 4 p.m. We have a facilities committee meeting here in the boardroom, followed by curriculum technology pupil services, 4:30 p.m. As I said, Wednesday, May 6th. Finance Human Resources Committee meets also that evening, Wednesday, May 6th at 5 p.m. in the boardroom. We do have a tentative special board meeting on May 6th at 6 p.m. here in the boardroom if necessary. Bridges Virtual Academy, the BVA Governance Board meets Thursday, May 7th, 12:45 p.m. They meet virtually. Our Head Start Policy Council meeting will be on Tuesday, May 12th, 5:30 p.m. out at Pine River School for Young Learners. Our next regularly scheduled board meeting is Wednesday, May 13th at 5:30 p.m. here in the boardroom. Next, we have a contemplated motion to adjourn to executive closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statutes under section 19.85 (1) considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility (F), considering financial, medical, social, or personal histories or disciplinary data of specific persons, preliminary consideration of specific personal problems, or the investigation of charges against specific persons, except where (B) applies, which if discussed in public, be likely to have a substantial adverse effect upon the reputation of any person referred to in such histories or data or involved in such problems or investigation. The purpose of the closed session is to review performance evaluation data of teachers for consideration of continued employment renewal or of teacher contracts for 2026-2027 school year, and for consideration and potential action approving issuances of preliminary notice of consideration of non-renewal of teacher contracts for 2026-27 school year, to consider and act upon parental requests for student opt-out of state assessments, including the potential for a closed session to review specifics applicable to the affected students if the discussion of such an open session would be likely to have an adverse effect upon the reputation of such students pursuant to section 19.85 paren F, paren 1 paren F of Wisconsin statutes. Any such closed session shall be immediately followed by reconvening an open session for further consideration and ultimately action upon said parental requests. Do we have that motion this evening? Paul?
So moved.
Do we have a second? Second by Mike. Tammy, could we have a roll call on that, please?
Nubs Ashbeck,
Aye.
Amber Durizzo,
Aye.
Jacqueline Grunwald,
Aye.
Mike Cornisher,
Aye.
Ron Liberty,
Aye.
Paul Crew,
Aye.
John Smith,
Aye.
Brett Waller,
Aye.
Kevin Blake.
Aye. All right, at this time, we will secure the room for a closed session. And a reminder, as stated in the explanation, we may come back to open session to act if necessary.
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Thank you.